As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Always With Love by Giovanna Fletcher. The great thing about this book is that this little sticker thing here is embossed onto the cover. It's embossed, which means it's not one of those annoying stickers that you try to rip off and doesn't come off properly and then there's all the sticky stuff on it. It's already there on the cover. It's the simple things in life. As always, this is going to be split into spoiler and non-spoiler sections. I'll let you know when the spoilers are coming so that if you haven't read the book, it won't be ruined for you. This is the sequel to Giovanna's debut novel Billy and Me, and the events of this book take place just after the novella that she wrote called Christmas with Billy and Me. While it's not entirely required for you to read them in that specific order, I would probably recommend it just because you get more out of the story and more of the background from the characters. Billy and Sophie are going to LA to spend Christmas and New Year with Billy's family. It's the first time that Sophie's going to get to meet Billy's entire family. Billy is currently on a break from the film acting world, but he quickly gets sucked back into it when this hotshot director comes along and offers him basically this movie deal that Billy cannot refuse. And the events that transpire from this particular conversation lead to Billy staying in LA and Sophie going back to England alone. This was the perfect light read that I needed because I have been reading so much heavy fantasy recently that this book came out at the right time for me to just take a break from all of that. If you haven't read any of Giovanna Fletcher's books, you are missing out. I don't normally read that much contemporary romance. It's not a genre I actively go for. But if you tell me that Giovanna Fletcher has got a new book coming out, you're damn right I'm going to be there getting that book. It was just such a nice, fantastic read. It's not often with books that I laugh out loud while reading them, but Giovanna has a talent for creating little bits of humour that you can't help but physically laugh at. It's a great addition to, I don't want to say series, but to what the initial first book is. I watched her interview on Loose Women where she talked about her reasons for why she wrote this book, and she said that she never believes that the last page of a book is the last page of the story for those characters. The same way that an event can take place in your life, and just because that event has finished doesn't mean that your life has ended after that event. You still go on to have many more adventures throughout your life, which was something interesting that I've never really thought of before. She wrote Christmas with Billy and Me, and the events that take place at the end of that led her to think, you know what, I'm not finished with this story, I want to write more, and hence Always With Love. I have loved every single one of Giovanna's books, which is rare for me. I tend to have some books with various authors where some of them I like better than others, but everything that Giovanna has written has been on the same high level. And she wrote this book while being pregnant and having a baby and raising a 2-year-old. That's really all that I can say for the non-spoilery section. So if you haven't read this, I suggest you leave now, otherwise it's just gonna ruin it for you. I saw the Peter and Sophie kiss coming from a million miles away. I knew that it was coming, and I really hoped it wasn't going to happen, because one kind of cliche stigma thing that I can't stand is the idea that a man and a woman can't be friends. It was the only thing that really annoyed me about this book, because I hate it and I've experienced it in real life, and it annoys me, and everyone was hinting to Sophie that it was a thing that might be happening, and I really hoped it wouldn't, just to prove everyone wrong. But then it happened and I threw the book across the room. I really like that Sophie renamed the tea shop to Molly's on the Hill. That made me cry because that was just such a lovely tribute to what was one of my favourite characters from the first book. One thing that I liked was that given how big the distance was, it would have been so easy for Sophie to go, I'm gonna go and temporarily live in LA while you are doing this film. I can live with your parents, we can find a way to make it work around your whole film schedule. But she didn't do that, and I really admire her for that, and I really like that she's so content with her life on Rosefront Hill that she didn't want to leave that behind, and that she actively went back to that, and she carried on working in her little tea shop. And when the flat above the tea shop was up for sale, she was like, I could buy that and that could be my new home. She had no real intention at this point in the story to change up her lifestyle for someone else, and I just think that that was a great message and something that I really appreciated about this book. The ending though, I saw that proposal coming. I knew that proposal was coming. To be honest, when I read Christmas with Billy and Me, I thought the proposal that might happen in that was going to be Sophie and Billy, and I was quite surprised when that didn't happen and it turned out to be her mum, the one that got engaged. I'm just really sad now because I've read it and I've read all of her books, including the novellas. So what am I gonna do until the next one? How long do I have to wait for the next one to come out? That's all really I have to say about Always With Love. Have you read it? If you have, let me know in the comments below. What were your favourite parts of it? What bits stood out for you the most? And I will be back with a new video soon. Bye!